in your salvation, you greatly rejoice. You've been called and granted an inheritance, incorruptible, undefiled, that passes not away. And you rejoice in that. In your salvation, you rejoice in it. Though now, for a season, if need be, you're in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, does that sound like what we've come to know as easy believism? That what we've come to know is the primitive Baptists have been accused of, that rocking chair of grace theology?
I've looked that up. That was Charles Finney.
Yeah.
Charles.
Did I say the wrong first
name? No, it was. You said Finney. F-I-N-N-E.
Okay.
You had the last name. It was Charles.
Yeah,
Charles. That was right.
Yeah. That's not rocking chair of grace theology, brothers and sisters. We can expect the hardship. We can expect the trial. We can expect the adversary. No one was ever snatched out of the clutches of Satan's hands that he said, oh, I don't want that one anyway.
That was
not one.
And that was part of what they called the second, I looked at the Wikipedia, that was the second, what is it, the second great revival of the United States or something, the second movement or something.
Something like that.
The first one was in New England with Edwards, the second one. And the second one they're talking about, what you were referencing, was this secret rapture, that they're going to be the mass disappearance. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the last part of this word strive, we're still not finished with what I want us to consider.
Great Awakening. Great Awakening.
Well, the Great Awakening was Edwards.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the last thing I want us to consider in this word strive for tonight, and I'm going to tie it up for our time. Strive should teach us that it's worthwhile for a man to be concerned about his own soul, to seek after salvation. Now, let me make something perfectly clear. There is a broad movement afoot in this nation called the seeker-sensitive movement among churches. You ever heard that phraseology? I know a few of you have. The seeker-sensitive movement, the names that are closely aligned with it, you'll recognize these names. Rick Warren, he's one of them. If you build the church comfortable enough, they'll come. If you build it with a fancy enough sound system, they'll come. If you provide enough theater, they'll come. If you get enough rock bands, they'll come.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the mentality, and I probably exaggerated it a little bit, and I mean to do him no harm. Okay? Please don't misunderstand me.
Right.
But that's kind of the mentality of the seeker-sensitive movement. If we provide enough programs, if we keep their children out of their hair 6 days out of 7, if we do this and that and the other thing, if we learn to do church right, they'll come. They will. But they're not getting what they need to be coming for. That's the problem with the seeker-sensitive movement. When they come, they can't be disappointed, can they? In other words, if I promise all of Garden City that this coming Sunday morning we're going to have a gospel rock band that rivals ZZ Top, and I get the church full, I tell all of y'all to stay home. You done converted. You don't need to be here nowhere. Y'all stay home. We want the pews for the lost Sunday morning. And I get them here, and I bring out WW Top, and I give them 5 minutes and say, all right, now I'm going to preach the next 55. Let's change that from a lot to most. Matter of fact, you could probably change it to all. The church, brothers and sisters, has attempted time and time again to reinvent herself. And what what the seeker-sensitive movement is going to find out, and history will show this, is that all the concessions to the world that they've made, and that's what it amounts to, it's concessions to the world. 50 years from now, the coffers of the church will have been pretty heavily, pretty well lined.
Mm-hmm. Like the Catholics back in here.
The sound system will have been long paid for.
Mm-hmm.
The benches will still be comfortable, or the chairs. Benches are way out of vogue. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but we way past that. We don't use benches anymore. Chairs, that's the way to go. That's what people want.
It's the worship center, not a sanctuary anymore.
50 years down the road, the fruit of the lives of the people that were impacted by this movement, history has already shown it in other movements.
Mm-hmm.
The fruit of it, negligible. I'll end with this story. Are you still recording?
I can shut it off if you
Okay.
like.
Yeah, because this is the end of it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.